time. It's time for Hey Coach and the Nick Saban Show on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
He is so wide open, it's unbelievable. Touchdown, Alabama!
Hey Coach and the Nick Saban Show are presented by Alfa Insurance. Protect your car's home, life, and business with Alfa. Get a quote or find a local agent at alfainsurance.com. Also brought to you by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealership today. Toyota, let's go places. Golden Flake, the official potato chip of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Yellow Hammer Brewing, Alabama's finest craft brewery. Everwood, the official treated lumber of Alabama athletics. And by Ford. For great offers on F-150, see your local Ford dealer. Proud sponsor of the Crimson Tide.
Throws far side. Intercepted Alabama.
Now, here's Eli Gold.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Baumhower's Victory Grille. We're here live in Tuscaloosa tonight, set to preview all that's coming up at the University of Alabama, and that includes lots of activity with the volleyball team. We'll be talking with Coach Rashinda and with Alyiah Wells. They'll be here in just a few moments. Later in the program, we've got Christy Curry coming by, the women's head basketball coach. And then in a half hour, well, actually our final half hour, we'll be joined by Tyler Watts, who'll be on the broadcasts with us of the football games this season. That's going to be coming up over the course of this next hour and a half. So we're glad you're with us. If you'd like to join the conversation, feel free to do so. It's a toll-free call from wherever you might be. 877-202-BAMA. 877-202-BAMA, and that'll get you in touch with everybody here. Or if you just like to throw in an opinion of sorts, feel free to give us a yell. The Nick Saban Show and Hey Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance. Of course, Coach Saban, as many of you know, does not join us for the first two shows of the season. He'll be with us starting next Thursday night. So make that a point on your calendar to join us here next Thursday evening. Hey, folks, if you want to keep up with everything with the University of Alabama, you can do so with the Alabama Crimson Tide mobile app presented by Cadence Bank. It's available at the App Store and Google Play. So download the Alabama Crimson Tide mobile app now. It is absolutely free. Hey, Coach, live from Baumhower's Victory Grille. This is also the official watch party location of the Crimson Tide. And coming up here in just a moment, we're going to talk volleyball. We've got some exciting times at the university with a second-year head coach and a young lady, Alyiah Wells, who has been here seemingly, I think this is her 18th year, it seems like, at the university. But we'll be talking with her as well. All of that coming up in just a moment here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
You know that feeling when you're doing what you love? You're in the zone, truly and fully alive, lost in thought. You know what you're not thinking about? Insurance. That's where Alfa comes in. Alfa handles all things insurance, so you're free to do anything. So get out there and live your best life. Whatever your thing is, we've got you covered. That's life with Alfa Insurance. Visit alfainsurance.com to learn more.
Producing championship quality lumber is not an easy process, but at Everwood Preserving, it's our only process. Wood treated right. Everwood offers top-notch pressure-treated wood for decks, outdoor structures, commercial jobs, and more that you can build your reputation on. When it comes to quality, we're on the winning team. Visit your local Everwood dealer today and discover the difference for yourself. Everwood Preserving Incorporated, the official lumber of the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Saturdays are made for football, and when the game is on, we're finally off. Off duty, offline, out of office. A cracked Coors Light is our do not disturb message to the world. On game day, we don't think about the 9 to 5, but worry about the 4th and 1. So this Saturday, grab a Coors Light, press play on some pigskin, and pause on everything else. Coors Light, mountain cold refreshments, made to chill. Proud partner of Crimson Tide Sports Network. 2021 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
What is the secret to SEC domination? Fierce training, grit, integrity, pride. What's the secret to snack perfection? Focusing on the simple things that make a snack great. Quality, freshness, flavor. At Golden Flake, we focus on simple Southern goodness. So when it's time to huddle up, grab your favorite bag of Golden Flake or any of our other delicious snacks from the Utz family of brands. Golden Flake, celebrating 66 years as the official chip of the Alabama Crimson Tide.
On game day, success starts with a great game plan. No matter if you're at home or on the road, greatness starts here with the Ford F-150 truck. Delivering a rare combination of power and smart technology like the available class-exclusive Pro Power onboard, Ford F-150 helps make great things possible. Visit your local Ford dealer, proud sponsor of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Zero is manual for home operating instructions. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds. GPWR.
Right there, look.
Welcome back, everybody. Hey, Coach, and the Nick Saban Show on the air from Baumhower's Victory Grille, brought to you by Alfa Insurance. This segment of Hey, Coach, also presented by Royal Furniture. Family owned and operated for 75 years, Royal Furniture has locations here in Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Memphis, and Jackson, Tennessee, for your shopping convenience. And it's a pleasure now to welcome in the head coach of the Crimson Tide volleyball team, Rashinda Reed. Coach, good to see you. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for having me here.
And who's this lady? I mean, I just said before, I was laughing. I said, I think she's been here like 18 years or something like that. Does it feel like that, Alyiah?
It definitely does. My teammates definitely say the same thing.
Yeah.
They always make a joke that I'm on my 30th year and I'm 45 years old. So, you know, that joke wasn't really too far off, something I hadn't heard before.
But, you know, in all seriousness, though, you're working on your third degree.
Yes, I am.
Here at the University of Alabama. What are the degrees in, and how do you keep yourself motivated?
Well, my undergrad was in general business and Spanish, and my first master's with marketing and digital social media concentration. The one I'm working towards now is sports hospitality. And what keeps me motivated is honestly just setting an example that you can honestly get as many degrees as you want if you put in the time and effort. We've had the ability to be here in the summers and, you know, work towards those extra credits in the off season. So might as well speed it along and get as many degrees in my time here as I can.
What do you want to do? What do you want to do when you grow up? As the old question used to be. Of all those degrees, what do you hope to zero in on?
I kind of want to still stay in sports. I just actually met with Greg Byrne last week at the football scrimmage, and I wanted to ask him what I need to do to work towards being an AD. I kind of want to make an impact on athletes from a bigger, broader, more business side, and he's been a great example for me since my time, well, since I've been here. And so that's kind of what I want to do, is work towards being an athletic director.
Cool. Coach, year 2 here, what was the eye-opening event, if there was one, in year 1 that said, hey, this is the SEC, or is it the same as Illinois and everywhere else where volleyball has got a prominent spot on campus?
I think right now, within the country, volleyball is actually very big. And, you know, very fortunate that Alabama gave me the opportunity to be here in the SEC and part of a very strong conference. And the eye-opening, my eye-opening experience right now was that what an opportunity that Alabama has to compete at a very high level, at the national level, and that there's so much support here at the university. And which ultimately truly excites me about the future of this program.
Recruiting to the University of Alabama. Certainly in some sports, it's a household name. Is it difficult to recruit volleyball players here? And a follow-up to that, simply because I don't know the answer to this, are there quality high school programs from which to recruit, or do you have to go the club route?
I think just, again, the sport has gotten so much better just across the country. So as far as recruiting to Alabama, it is probably one of the easiest places to recruit because Alabama has such a brand, and I would actually like to commend just what Coach Saban has done, just for the sports across the board. I know there's a time that him and I had a time to talk, and there's one thing that he said that I have never experienced in any other university, which was, if we're good, we're all good. And he's all about supporting not just football, but every single program here at the institution. And you can see that with how successful a lot of the programs here, and that is because of that mindset. It comes from the top. And he's also like communicating those things with Greg, and much like Alyiah, you have a player that has access to the athletic director talking about how can I thrive as an adult. So just having that support across the board and just the success across the board with all of the athletes is all these sports, it's very easy. I mean, it's a huge brand. You can walk anywhere in this country and you're going to get a Roll Tide.
Exactly. That's definitely the case, no doubt. Hey, folks, if you want to join the conversation anytime throughout the course of this next 90 minutes, feel free to join us on the Yellowhammer Brewing Hotline. It's the same phone number we've had for years and years and years. Just a brand new sponsor, and great to have Yellowhammer Brewing on board. 877-202-BAMA. 877-202-BAMA. That is the phone number if you'd like to join us. 8 returnees, 8 newcomers, 7 freshmen and a transfer. What falls upon your shoulders, Alyiah, as the elder stateswoman, if I can? I don't know, there's no good way to say that, but you've been around the longest.
Great job.
Thank you.
Amazing job.
The elder stateswoman, what do you teach these young ladies when they come to campus and they're wide-eyed and they're looking around and saying, hey, man, this is the SEC. What are you teaching them?
The first thing is just kind of stay calm and know that they prepared and they were good enough to get recruited to Alabama, so they should take that same confidence with being able to sign and commit to a school like Alabama and carry that onto the court. So just kind of really instilling that confidence in them, but also growing their IQ in the game. Rashinda's helped me. She played middle, which is my position.
Right.
So she's able to help me in a way that I didn't know that I could be helped, honestly, from such a high level. And I know our freshmen coming in, their IQ is going to have to develop. So my thing is, in my last year, is kind of help them learn the game so that it's easier for them over their next few years.
A lot of folks listening tonight probably watch volleyball in the Olympics, may see it on occasion on a sports anthology show that's on TV, but they don't know the ins and outs. They don't know the set plays. They don't know this. They don't know that. How difficult for a newbie to learn the ins and outs of the game so when they show up at Foster Auditorium, they can enjoy and know what they're watching?
Well, it gets kind of complicated because the game does move really, really fast.
Yeah.
Of course, everybody wants to see a really big hit, a really big kill, or a really big block, but there's so many other layers to the game that can be learned. I feel like just kind of sitting down in the more that you learn, talking to the people who are in the audience with you, I feel like it's going to be big for those who are new and trying to learn the game and be like, hey, what happened? I think my mom, my grandma, they still come to the game and she still asks my mom, hey, what just happened? Why did the ref say this? Or why did they decide to do this? But even though it's a big, broad, a lot of skills that go into the game, that pass, set, hit, as long as you have 3 touches on your side, that's good. If you normally have 1, 2 or less, that's normally bad. So,
and I like to step in. No, sorry.
You're good.
Go ahead.
Stop talking. I do want to step in there because the game is so fast, and what's beautiful about volleyball is you see true athleticism. The game happens so fast. You might not know exactly what's happening in the game, but you know that there's a point for something.
Right.
And the fact that happens, and it is so fast, it leads to very exciting sport to watch. And over time, much like Alyiah said, there's a lot of things that happen within it. But as you watch more and more, you start to pick it up. But for someone that just comes for the very first time, you see that it's actually really exciting because everything's so fast, because these ladies are so physical. And I just remember when I was a player, they're like, you just play your little girl sport over here, not really realizing how intense it really is.
Remarkable.
Hitting the ball, in thin air. Like, you have to jump up and, like, get it, like, before it falls. Like,
It's remarkable. I mean, you guys sacrifice your body.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
I mean, they do. You're right.
Yeah.
They do
They
that.
do,
They
yeah.
do a great job of that.
They do, and that's part of what makes the game so great. We're going to talk about the upcoming home schedule. We'll talk more with the coach and with Alyiah, so don't you go away. We're breaking for these messages as we are live at Baumhower's, who is celebrating 40 years of the Victory Grill this fall, and of course new flavors, including Alabama hot chicken, fajita wraps, and of course their legendary buffalo wings. Baumhower's Victory Grill, the official watch party location of the Crimson Tide. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Into the building for the first time after the shooting. It was crippling, but it had to be preserved.
In response to the Pulse nightclub shooting that affected the LGBTQ community, Barbara Poma, owner of Pulse, founded the One Pulse Foundation to honor Pulse victims and survivors.
If you're an ally of this community, speak out. There are more of us together than apart. It is the power of love in its rawest form.
Join the fight for LGBTQ acceptance. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies, because feeling full can sound like this.
How did the interview go? I did it! I got the job! I can't believe it!
And like this.
Mom, I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/act now. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear, call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Did you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container, because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back, everybody. Hey, Coach, and the Nick Saban Show, presented by Alfa Insurance. For auto, home, and life insurance, call Alfa. This segment of Hey, Coach is presented by Roll Tide Jerky. Stock up with the newest tailgate tradition, Roll Tide Jerky. Introducing Roll Tide Jerky with proceeds fueling Crimson Tide athletes. It's coming to a store near you at RollTideJerky.com. You can check it out online. Roll Tide Jerky, where passion and protein collide. I'm visiting on this first portion of the show with Rashinda Reed and Alyiah Wells, head coach and middle blocker for the Crimson Tide volleyball team. Let's talk about the schedule thus far. You opened with with Mississippi Valley State. That's the Invitational this week. Then St. Louis and Mercer. You had a bit of a tune-up last week against North Alabama. Before we talk about the periphery, the crowd, which was very good, and so on, where's your ball club right now as you get now set to begin this season? What do you see? Are there areas that need improvement? Are there areas where you say, "Oh, we're going to be really good here"? What are you seeing?
I see all of the above.
Okay.
You know, when you're in the beginning of the season and you have so many new pieces, as you said, we have 8 new players.
Yeah.
You're all working together. You know, getting used to playing next to each other and just learning each other's playing styles and who they are as a competitor. And definitely when we played against North Alabama, there are some things that I saw that I was incredibly impressed by the returners and the freshmen. The biggest thing that I noticed that we constantly talked about with the team was how level they play. for such a young team, when you're on the stage and the lights are bright, a lot of people crumble in those moments, and that did not happen. I mean, North Alabama was a pretty tough team, and they put it to us. And there were moments that we could have given up, and that did not happen. And that's also the culture of the program we've been working on.
How about the Invitational this weekend, Alyiah? I'm sure you've taken a look at some element of scouting of the opponents. What are you seeing? How tough is this field this weekend?
I feel like it's going to be a tough couple of days. I mean, honestly, we just can't overlook any team. It's kind of hard to scout for a team that hasn't played since last November, just like us. So just going into our first match, it's kind of going to be focusing on what we can control and what we've been working on in the gym. We can't too much worry about what's going on the other side of the net when, honestly, it's a wild card either way, but you can just kind of prepare with what they've done in the past and kind of also expect like they could make adjustments just like we have between last year and this year. But we are going to have a few tough matches, and I feel like it's going to be great because we're going to be at home, and that's a space that everybody's comfortable playing in. I feel like it's going to be really good for our newcomers, our freshmen and stuff, because this is the gym we've been in for the last 2 months, and I feel like it's going to give them a sense of like security almost to be able to perform.
Coach, how difficult is it when you begin a season like this? You've got those newcomers coming in, you've got some veterans, and then it begins. Boom, here you go, it counts now. Is it tough to instill this is the SEC to these newcomers, or do they get it?
Well, luckily enough, we have players like Alyiah, leaders like Alyiah that can help convey that message that this conference is incredibly tough. You have 7 teams that made to the tournament in the SEC, and so, ultimately, is it hard? Oh, yes, absolutely.
Is this where the power in the country resides, or is it still out there with UCLA and those ladies? Where's the power center of women's collegiate volleyball?
Right now it's in a few different regions, but it kind of it's in the Big Ten, but it's changing. Like this past year, 6 teams went to the tournament in the Big Ten and 7 teams in the SEC.
Right.
So, it's something that is definitely shifting.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, one thing I loved to see was last week at the scrimmage, it was a nice crowd.
Oh, yeah.
It was a nice crowd, and, in word of mouth or whatever you want, one word says, come on out, next says, yeah, you got to go. The next one says, I was there, I loved it. That's what you still have to build to get that regular crowd in, isn't it?
100%, and that's something that we were being very intentional about within this season is building the community, because we want to be part of that journey as we're building something great. And having them understand, hey, there's an exciting sport here that everyone can be a part of, from someone that is very young and to someone that that's older and maybe not athletic at all. So it is that exciting sport. It's climate controlled, so that's a big deal. So for those out there,
air conditioning
is huge.
It is.
But when we talk about community, it is a big deal. We have these ladies that also bleed crimson and white. They represent this institution, and they love Alabama just like everyone else. And so we're trying to get them all out, and that was huge with all the work that this team has done. At an exhibition match, there was a huge crowd, which was awesome.
Yep, I had a chance to talk to Mark Sears from men's basketball while we were walking around before the show, and it was his first volleyball game because his little sister came to some of our camps this summer, and he was able to come to Foster and actually watch a game for the first time. And the first thing that he told me, he was like, it's really loud in there. Like, it gets really, really loud. He's like, I was not expecting that many people to be at a volleyball game, and he said that he was going to come back, and it just was something like a different experience for sure.
Well, I'll admit I did a few matches on television on the SEC network over the last, not so much last year, but the years prior. And you just sit there and you shake your head. Especially, I'm like a lot of folks. You watch it on TV during the Olympics, and that's the extent of it. You guys are as athletic as any athlete on campus. and more than some. So I congratulate you on that, and I wish you all the best. We're going to come on out and see. Now, tomorrow again, you've got the opening round of the Crimson Tide Invitational, Mississippi Valley State, the Billikens of St. Louis, and the Mercer Bears. When does action get going tomorrow?
It starts at 12 o'clock tomorrow, 12:30 tomorrow, and then it's 7 o'clock.
Sounds good enough. Well, listen, thank you so much for coming out and joining us here this evening. And folks, I mean it, if you haven't done so, get out to Foster, which of course is a legendary building in its own right. Get out there, enjoy the volleyball, and take in some great athletic action right here on campus. Good to see you, ladies.
Thank you so much for having us.
Come back and join us anytime.
I know.
Aww.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. Rashinda Reed, the head coach, and Alyiah Wells, the middle blocker for the Crimson Tide. We've got more coming up, so don't you go away. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
We've all been caught up in the little chores that pile up every day. The dishes in the sink, the trash that needs taking out, the pesky check engine light. Isn't it time to make a change and escape to a whole new world of possibilities? Where there's dinner without dishes, nights filled with adventure, and every day you feel like a winner. A little change can go a long way when you escape every day at Wing Creek Casino and on the Casinoverse app.
CB&S Bank has a long history of stability and a legacy of serving our community's needs for generations. You could say we know a thing or two about tradition. We've been family, community, and financially strong since we began in 1906. Being a team player is part of our culture. That's why at CB&S Bank, we're proud to sponsor the University of Alabama Athletics and prouder to take the field or court with you. Visit cbsbank.com today. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
The open road sounds about the same for everyone. But in a new Toyota you love, it sounds more like... Yes! Woohoo! Hit the road in style at the Toyota National Sales Event. Lease a new 2023 Toyota RAV4 LE for $319 a month for 36 months. Toyota, let's go places. Offer valid through September 5th, 2023. Well-qualified lessees with approved credit through Southeast Toyota Finance. 3618 due at signing. No security deposit. With select equipment. 350 disposition fee. Excludes tax, tag, registration, title, and dealer fees. See dealer for details.
Hi, we're RJ Young. We offer technology solutions that power your business, school, hospital, church, law firm, and more. RJ Young will empower your office to be the modern office. That means an office that integrates technology as a business advantage, all to help you work smarter. From managed IT services, office equipment, and technology, business process outsourcing, and digital communications, we're proud to be your one-stop for technology solutions that power your business. Come visit us at rjyoung.com.
Want to win free Alabama gear? Visit HansonSuperTex.com/RollTide. Whatever your home services needs, just call the Supertex at Hanson, home of the $25 service call. Let the Hanson Supertex put your mind and wallet at ease while keeping you cool this football season. From AC repair and maintenance to plumbing and electrical, they do it all with the experience and expertise you can trust. Schedule your service today. Visit HansonSuperTex.com/RollTide, the official AC partner of Alabama Athletics. Alabama license number 99172.
Welcome back, everybody. Hey, Coach, and the Nick Saban Show. Coach Saban joins us starting next Thursday, so don't forget that. Jot it down on your calendar. Make it a point to be here with us at Baumhower's Victory Grille. Time now for us to tip our hats to the Everwood Performer of the Week, and that's going to be no tough decision this week. Crimson Tide golfer Nick Dunlap won the 123rd United States Amateur Championship this past weekend. He joins Jerry Pate as the only Alabama golfer to win the prestigious event. Dunlap has now claimed both the U.S. Junior Amateur in 2021 and the U.S. Amateur Championship this year. And he joins Tiger Woods as the only two golfers to achieve that feat. So congratulations to Nick Dunlap and the entire Alabama golf team. That is the Everwood Performance of the Week. Everwood is wood treated right. We've got tons to talk about tonight, including a visit from a great friend and an outstanding coach. The head coach of the women's basketball team is with us, Christy Curry. Good to see you. How are you?
Eli, I'm great, but most importantly, I am so happy to see your face tonight. I'm so glad you're feeling better. You've been in our thoughts and prayers, and our team, we're going to be so excited to see you again this season.
I can't wait to get there courtside and join the ladies. As we sit here in, what is it, today's date, August 24th, give me a quick, broad brush look at the ladies. What kind of ball club are you going to have?
I'm excited. We're really, the number 12 recruiting class in the country. Yep. We're big inside. We bring a lot of depth in the paint. I saw that this summer, and then our trip to Spain. Love our backcourt. We're going to miss, obviously, the players that we lost, but that's the joy of coaching, right? We're excited about our new faces and can't wait to get started. We had a great summer, phenomenal summer. Anytime you can take a foreign tour, it puts you a step ahead. So we had 3 games over in Spain. We got back about a week ago. We had 18 practices that led up to that. So we are a step ahead from where we're normally at this time of year.
We're going to come back and talk much more with Christy Curry. If you'd like to join the conversation, feel free. The Yellow Hammer Brewing Hotline is open at 877-202-BAMA. Right now, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network. We're live at Baumhower's Victory Grille here in Tuscaloosa as we get set to continue tonight's edition of Hey Coach and the Nick Saban Show. I have sitting in front of me here right now this beautiful looking Yeti cooler, the cup actually, more appropriately than a cooler. The Yeti cup that I know so many of us have Yeti products at home. You can stay cool on game day with a free drink of your choice when you purchase this limited edition Alabama Yeti. It's only available at Bryant-Denny Stadium. So elevate your game day with Yeti. It's a beautiful white with silver, has the Yeti logo on it, and you buy it one time only, and then you can get it refilled at Bryant-Denny Stadium. And right in the middle, the big Roll Tide logo. It's a nice looking deal here.
That's a beautiful cup. I'm going to get me one of those. We all need to.
Yes, definitely, and that's going to be available at Bryant-Denny Stadium. These Yeti cups will be available for you to purchase and then refill time and time again. So check it out. I know you'll be pleased to see the great workmanship on that. When we come back, we'll dive into women's hoops. Lots more to talk about. And then later on in the program, the man who is going to be serving as the analyst on the Crimson Tide Sports Network football broadcasts, he is going to be with us. That's Tyler Watts, former Crimson Tide quarterback. He'll be joining us later in the show. But right now, we break for this on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The Mushroom and Swiss Burger is back at Jack's with 2 all-beef patties loaded with grilled mushrooms and onions, melted Swiss cheese, and topped with our savory gravy. This ain't the kind of burger you eat on the run. So take it home and invite the whole family. Since it's from Jack's, you know you can afford to feed them all. The Mushroom and Swiss Burger at Jack's. Get it before it's gone. Order online at eatatjacks.com. That's eatatjacks.com.
The excitement of our championship teams is in full force. But the battle against COVID-19 isn't finished, as the need to protect our community is still ongoing. I'm Jordan Battle. And I'm Henry To'oto'o. We're here to remind fans across Alabama to protect those around you by getting your COVID-19 vaccine and any boosters. Free vaccinations are available for everyone 6 months and older at county health departments and in retail locations within your communities. Visit alcovidvaccine.gov for more information. Stay safe and roll tide.
Discover something amazing at Cook Museum of Natural Science. Explore a cave, crawl inside a beaver lodge, marvel at live animals including saltwater fish, turtles, snakes, jellyfish, alligators, and more. Experience nature close up through interactive exhibits and hands-on activities. Discover why life is amazing at Cook Museum of Natural Science in downtown Decatur, Alabama. For more information, visit cookmuseum.org.
Welcome back, everybody. We're joined by Christy Curry, the head basketball coach on the women's side here at the University of Alabama, coming off a good season, an outstanding season, and a year in which she takes the ladies to Spain for a summer vacation with some work thrown in, but a lot of chemistry and team building. So tell me about the Spain trip. How was it? Good?
It was awesome. You know, everything went really smoothly. You know, we took 11 young ladies with us and our staff and administration, and the practices that led up to it are really what benefit you. You know, the opportunity to get a step ahead. It'll make fall practice that starts September 25th. The transition quick. So we're excited about it. And, you know, we went to, started out in Madrid, and then went up to Valencia, or down to Valencia, and then to Barcelona. And man, all three stops were pretty special. We played 3 different teams, a lot of pros. The system over there, they'll spread the floor. They do a lot of really good things that gave us some true looks. They had some size, you know, some quickness on the perimeter. So a step ahead against, you know, their professional teams. A lot of kids play over there, so it was really good for us.
So these were formal teams. They were not all-star units put together for the tour?
Well, a couple of them were.
Okay.
They mixed in some Division I, Division II, Division III pro players from Spain. A lot of them have been playing a long time. I think the oldest was 41. She was really good. A lot of them have played in the States.
Right.
So they've had a lot of Division I experience. It seems like their best team showed up when they heard Alabama was coming to town. But
It's amazing
yeah,
how that
it really
happened,
is.
isn't it?
It really is. But it was good. We played some different club teams, and they have club levels, you know, from the little girls up to the big girls. So it was a great opportunity for us to really get back to the game, you know, intertwine cultures. And I think our kids really enjoyed the experience. You could tell that their players enjoyed us. And, you know, I think we followed Pacific, Georgia Tech, so there were several women's teams that were there around us. It's always fun to compare scores, compare who shows up. So it was a good experience.
Is this a recruiting tool, if you will? Is it likely we'll see somebody from España on your roster, or is it just recruiting tool because you can say, hey, we're going on an international tour?
Yeah, you know, it's more of a recruiting tool because once out of every 4 years, the NCAA allows us to take these foreign tours. I think there were 5 SEC teams that took foreign tours this summer, so it's a recruiting tool. You know, you can never say never that you won't have someone from overseas. Obviously, they come over to a lot of the schools in the States as far as the prep schools. So we're in touch and know who's out there, but I think the biggest thing is it's just a recruiting tool. You have to take foreign tours once every 4 years to stay in the recruiting game.
We're visiting with Christy Curry, women's head basketball coach here at the University of Alabama. You know, it's the 24th of August, but basketball is not that far away. I'm just looking here, look at your schedule. You've got a preseason game against UAH. You've got a scrimmage against Belmont. You jump right into it, a tournament in Houston and so on. How difficult a schedule am I looking at here on this piece of paper?
Well, I think you're looking at one that's really going to challenge us. We go to Syracuse. We play Gonzaga. We all know what Gonzaga is about basketball-wise. We play Clemson. We have South Florida at home, so we've got a great preseason schedule. You know, the SEC schedule, we've got LSU twice on it. We all know there will be the preseason #1 team in the country. So, you know, the challenge of the preseason is season number 1 that prepares us for the SEC, and we love what it's done for us. We're excited to defend our home floor. We've got Stephen F. Austin. We all know how good their men are.
Right.
Their women consistently win their league. So a lot of good preseason games for us.
And of course, within the state of Alabama, you got Stanford on the schedule.
Yeah,
again.
we're excited. You know, they have just such a great program, and they do a really good job with their program. And it's going to be good for us to get that series going again with Stanford. We also have Alabama State on. You know, they've done a really good job in the SWAC. Arkansas Little Rock at Arkansas Little Rock, you know, that's tough. They consistently win their league. So we've got some preseason games that are going to challenge us on the road and at home and get us prepared for the SEC.
We're going to come back and talk about the roster of ladies who will be carrying the crimson and white colors throughout the season. But right now, we have to break away and take care of a little business as we're spending time with Christy Curry on Hey Coach and the Nick Saban Show. Let's mention tonight that you can get ready and enter to win 2 tickets to the Alabama-Arkansas football game on October the 14th, plus $250 worth of gear from Alumni Hall. Go to Contest Central on RollTide.com to register to win, or you can just stop by Alumni Hall or online, alumnihall.com, for more information. Alumni Hall in Midtown Village, your ultimate Crimson Tide shopping experience. Of course, each and every week when we're here on Thursdays, not only are we joined by coaches, but we'll also be joined by a special member of the news media who will be joining our panel of questioners, and the media will be presented each week by CB&S Bank. Bank anywhere, at any time with CB&S Bank's digital solutions. Managing your finances has never been so easy. More with Christy Curry right after this on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Stay cool with York Ice Company, the official ice supplier of the Crimson Tide. Whether you need ice in bulk on a construction site, in your restaurant or convenience store, or just at home for your next family event or tailgate, be sure to trust the same exceptional service the Tide does with a locally owned company. York Ice has been keeping Alabama cool since 1990 and can help with your needs across the state, all from their convenient location in downtown Tuscaloosa. York Ice Company is a proud supporter of the Crimson Tide. Visit them at YorkIceCompany.com for more information.
Trustmark is the bank that fits you to a
T.
You can bank right on your phone or
tablet
with the My Trustmark app. Our mortgage lenders will help you buy your dream
two-story tutor.
And Trustmark Tailored Wealth offers
tried and true
advice that makes
transforming
your future a piece of
toast.
Nice. Trustmark. People you trust. Advice that works. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for Greatest of All Time. As in, spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
What is dedication?
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that my kids wouldn't have a father. And I started thinking, you know what? This isn't my story. I definitely had to become a better man to be a better father. It's important to me that my kids are empowered and truly believe that if they can think it, they can do it.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Hey everybody, Alabama coach Nick Saban here.
This is the Nick Saban Show.
Roll Tide.
Live from Baumhower's Victory Grille in Tuscaloosa.
All right, blow the horn, let's go.
Presented by Alfa Insurance. For auto, home, and life insurance, call Alfa.
We welcome you back. Again, Coach Nick Saban will be with us at 7 o'clock Central Time starting next Thursday evening. So feel free to join us and pick up the phone and call in 877-202-BAMA. That's 877-202-BAMA. Christy Curry, let's talk about some staffing changes for you. Tennille Adams, new assistant coach. Tell me about her.
Yeah, she has been in the SEC as a player, went to a Final Four at Arkansas, played for the great Gary Blair, and, has been a head coach at Howard, spent time as an assistant at several stops. She's just a phenomenal addition. She has a tremendous heart and passion, especially for post-play development, so we're excited to add Tennille, and again, she's been in this league as a player, so she understands what it takes.
Sure.
We lost our longtime secretary, Vicki Plant, to retirement. We're going to miss Miss Vicki, but so happy for her. And then added a couple new faces from a creative standpoint, and now we can have 6 coaches on the floor, so it's an interesting time in our sport. We're really excited about
How are you going to keep 6 coaches occupied?
I think we can find enough chores, from a position development standpoint, from, obviously I think it's going to be really helpful if you do have an injury. You've got someone that can be helping them on the side with that, along with our training staff. There's so many little things you can do, but I think it's good for young coaches. The opportunity to be on the court, to get that experience, to take the next step in their career. So I love that from a staff development standpoint, the opportunity for them in their futures.
Quick look at the roster. Who are the ladies who, and you may not choose to single out anyone, but who are the ladies that are going to really open folks' eyes this year?
Oh my goodness, I love this team. We have 11, and those 11 all can play. And I think the depth of this team, the versatility and the size, we love it. We love our new class. Our returnees are so solid and experienced, but I think you're going to love our freshman class. Essence Cody at 6'4", the second McDonald's All-American in school history is special. Naomi Jones has just been unbelievable out of Jackson, Alabama. Another 6'4", 6'5", and then Rachel Douglas, 6 foot out of the Raleigh, North Carolina. All 3 of those kids are really talented, and it's great to have freshmen on our roster and watch their growth.
But I also love the fact that you've got ladies from Georgia Tech and Georgia and West Virginia and NC State's Wolfpack and Illinois and Arizona State and Indiana State, and it goes on and on and on. It's, recruiting is different than it used to be, and you've got yourself quite the nucleus from other universities across the country.
Yeah, the transfer portal is something that's real. It's something that's ongoing constantly on a daily basis, and, we have to participate in the SEC to be successful. And, not only, I think when you make portal decisions, though, it's got to be high character and the work ethic, and these kids work so hard and bring such great character. So there are no shortcuts with the portal with our team, and I think they're all here for various reasons, but man, you're going to love watching them play. They bring a lot of experience from a lot of different leagues across the country.
Well, I'm looking forward to it, and it's wonderful having you back with us on the show. It's been a while for me, but I know that we are all thrilled to see how the ladies are progressing, and we'll chat many times, I'm sure, between now and the end of the season.
Well, thanks for having me on, and Eli, it's so good to see you. I'm so glad you're feeling better.
God bless you. You're so sweet. Thank you.
You too. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. Christy Curry joining us here. We're coming back in just a moment. Coming up in about 10 minutes from now, Tyler Watts will be here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey y'all, my name is Tiara, and a little thing that I love about the Chick-fil-A Spicy Chicken Biscuit is that it has the perfect amount of spice to jumpstart my day. Whoever thought of it, thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Robert, and a little thing I love about Chick-fil-A Spicy Chicken Biscuit is the biscuit. It reminds me of my grandma's homemade biscuit. It's always buttery and savory, then you add the spices, instant classic.
Order the Spicy Chicken Biscuit on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real Chick-fil-A guests pay for their testimonials.
Trustmark is the bank that fits you to a
T.
You can bank right on your phone or
tablet
with the My Trustmark app. Our mortgage lenders will help you buy your dream
true story tutor.
And Trustmark Tailored Wealth offers
tried and true
advice that makes
transforming
your future a piece of
toast.
Nice. Trustmark. People you trust. Advice that works. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
It's game day. What do you take to the tailgate? A flat screen TV? Take it to the tailgate. Your wife's favorite blender? The DJ sound system? With a Ford F-150 truck, you can take it all. With available Pro Power onboard that acts like a mobile generator, you can use F-150 to take your tailgate to the next level. Visit your local Ford dealer today. The Alabama Crimson Tide and Ford F-150. Greatness starts here. See owner's manual for important operating instructions.
At Royal Furniture, we know Alabama football is life, and we're here to help. Help you turn your living room into a luxury suite with power motion sofas. Help you update your bedroom so you can count victories while you sleep. When it comes to furniture, no one can compete with Royal, where everything is on sale and available for immediate pickup or delivery. Don't wait 8 weeks for delivery at the other guys. Get it today at Royal Furniture with 0% interest, 0% financing, and no money down. Visit our locations in Birmingham and Tuscaloosa or royalfurniture.com today. Roll Tide.
Welcome back, everybody. Hey, Coach, and the Nick Saban Show. Live tonight, as per usual on Thursdays, here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. We're coming your way from Baumhower's Victory Grille. You're listening to Hey, Coach, brought to you by Alfa Insurance. For auto, home, and life insurance, call Alfa. Time to go to the phones, and if you'd like to be part of the conversation, 877-202-BAMA. That's the Yellowhammer Brewing Hotline, and whether anything is brewing or not, you can count on this guy being first in line. That's Pee-wee from Grand Bay, Alabama. He's got tonight's first question, brought to you by Alabama 811. Always contact 811 before you dig to know what's below. Call 811 or visit al811.com. Sir P of Wee, how are you?
I am doing very well, Mr. Eli. I cannot explain to you how happy it makes me that your voice is now back on the show.
Well, thank you. I can't tell you how happy it makes me.
I read today, that Chris is going to be handling the away games this year for the broadcast, and I just wanted to thank Chris, for the job that he did last year. He stepped in when it was needed and did probably one of the best jobs that anybody that could do to come in and fill in for you, and I wanted to mention that to him. And also to John Parker, thank him for, 5 years being our color guy, and congratulations to Tyler for coming in to take his place. Tyler has been doing this, on pay-per-view games and whenever needed, and I'm really looking forward to his insight as well.
Yes, me too.
Just wondering, Eli, what's the general consensus, around the thing, how practice is going, how everything's looking?
Well,
what are you seeing, buddy?
What I'm seeing when I'm out there are good football players. I was telling somebody today, and it's not my place to, issue any kind of a depth chart or anything like that. But I told somebody today that if you're recruited by Nick Saban to the University of Alabama, you're good. Okay, let's start with that premise. If you're recruited by Nick Saban to the University of Alabama, you're good. And now it's a time to see how quickly everybody adapts from their high school or their former college or whatever it might be to the University of Alabama and our way of doing things here. But, as far as assessing who's doing what, that's not for me to say. That's for the coach to say. But, again, suffice to say it's a good group of players, and they're looking forward to getting this season underway. And while you mentioned Chris Stewart's name, I want to mention something about Chris as well. Obviously, he filled in last year and filled in admirably. There are some things, though, that happened last year that nobody knows about, and Chris was one of those guys who was always on the phone talking to me. I mean, there were times where I needed to call and talk to someone, especially someone who'd been there and done that, because he obviously, 3 years ago, had medical issues of his own. He was at some of the same facilities that I was at, and I was able to pick up the phone and call Chris, or he would call me, and we would talk for 30 minutes, 40 minutes on the phone. So, you know, everything that you said was correct, and how he did a great job on the air, but he was also a very, very pivotal part of getting me through everything that went on, because, you know, it was not fun. It was not easy. But Chris was there for me when I needed just to talk to someone, and I can't say enough about him. So I just wanted to pass that along as a thought. Pee Wee, thank you for your call. Great to hear from you. Let's go to Montgomery now for our next phone call. Manal, welcome into the show. Thank you for holding on.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. How are you?
Mr. Eli, how are you doing, sir? I want to start off by saying God bless you, sir, and we as a Tide family are very happy to have you back, sir.
Well, thank you. I'm thrilled to be back.
Yes, sir. You know, I just want to start off by saying, you know, there's a lot of Bama fans that we have here that are doubting us, you know, for the past 3 years. And I know you know it best, sir. The past, every year since 2009, every 4 years, Alabama has had a national championship under Nick Saban, and I have no worry at all, sir, about this year at all.
So that would mean this year it's another national title, huh?
Oh, roll tide, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Well,
no doubt about it.
I appreciate your input, and for those of you who are into numerology, Manal brings up a good point right there, and I thank him for joining. It works for me, so I thank him for joining us on the show. 877-202-BAMA, 877-202-BAMA. That is the phone number if you'd like to be part of the program. And again, to ask a question tonight or any of the shows upcoming all season long, remember the Yellow Hammer Brewing Hotline, 877-202-BAMA, 877-202-BAMA. This segment of the Nick Saban Show is brought to you by Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. With zero sugar and refreshingly delicious, is Coca-Cola Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Well, find out for yourself. I think you'll love the answer. When we come back, a final thought or two for this half hour, and then Tyler Watts joins us. That follows these messages on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
What you doing? Yeah, you. Listening to this ad right now. What you up to? Well, if you have auto insurance through Alfa, you know what you're not doing? Worrying about claims or stressing over coverage. Alfa handles the details for you so you can keep doing whatever you're doing. That's life at Alfa Insurance. Visit alfainsurance.com to learn more.
Guthrie's was America's first chicken finger restaurant, and now Guthrie's Golden Fried Chicken Fingers is your Bama tailgate headquarters. Come by and get the best chicken fingers in the game. Make Guthrie's and their famous signature dipping sauce your one stop for all your tailgate parties this season. Call ahead, place your orders for game day. Guthrie's, America's original chicken finger restaurant and now an official partner of the Alabama Crimson Tide. For franchise information, visit Guthrie'sChicken.com.
Yellowhammer Brewing is proud to sponsor the Alabama Crimson Tide. Yellowhammer Brewing has been crafting fine beers for the state of Alabama for 12 years running. Their beers include a variety of classic styles, including their latest release, Yellowhammer Gold, a light, easy-drinking American lager. These guys are local and doing great things for their community. You can find their beers at grocery stores, restaurants, and craft beer shops throughout the state. Check them out at yellowhammerbrewing.com. Make your next pint of Yellowhammer and roll Tide.
Do you say roll tide instead of hello? See elephants in the clouds? Never wear blue and orange together? If so, there's no better way to show your Crimson Tide pride than with the University of Alabama Regents Visa debit card and prepaid Regents Now card. As passionate as you are about Bama, Regions is even more passionate about celebrating your every financial win and helping you plan for the next one. To order your card, visit Regions.com/GoBama. Regions, official bank of the SEC. Member FDIC. Terms, conditions, and fees apply.
We are back on this Thursday evening. Hey, Coach and the Nick Saban Show. Coach Saban joins us starting next Thursday night, and he'll be taking your calls and comments, talking about the football team, and of course previewing the season opener against the Blue Raiders of Middle Tennessee State University. Alfa Insurance has been the ongoing presenting sponsor of this show. Remember, for auto, home, and life insurance, you need to call Alfa. And to, again, ask the coach a question or to just voice your opinion, feel free to dial up the Yellowhammer Brewing Hotline at 877-202-BAMA, 877-202-BAMA. Coming up starting next week when the coach joins us, we'll be taking your questions through the AL.com Nick Saban blog. So if you want to make sure you get in with a question and don't want to wait on the phone lines, you can do that by, you can cut the corner there by going to AL.com and the Nick Saban Show blog and get yourself in the queue, if you will, and get yourself ready for your chance to chat with the coach. When we come back, we're going to join the next member of our broadcast crew on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. He is the longtime Crimson Tide quarterback. He has been a member of broadcasts on radio and TV, the old pay-per-view telecasts and radio coverage. He's done high school ball and now the University of Alabama. My analyst, or my color man, I could probably use an analyst sometimes, but my color man is going to be joining us, Tyler Watts. He's coming up next here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Into the building for the first time after the shooting. It was crippling, but it had to be preserved.
In response to the Pulse nightclub shooting that affected the LGBTQ community, Barbara Poma, owner of Pulse, founded the One Pulse Foundation to honor Pulse victims and survivors.
If you're an ally of this community, speak out. There are more of us together than apart. It is the power of love in its rawest form.
Join the fight for LGBTQ acceptance. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
I'm Chris Jackmick. I served in the United States Air Force, and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is, my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately, in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jackmick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, honey bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
We continue from Baumhower's Victory Grille here in Tuscaloosa. Eli Gold with you this evening. We thank Rashinda Reed and Alyiah Wells, who were with us earlier in the show, the volleyball head coach and their standout middle blocker. Christy Curry was here just a bit ago, head basketball coach for the ladies team, and we'll be joined in just a few moments by Tyler Watts, former Bama quarterback. But right now to Florida we go, and Parker, who is on the phone. Hello, Parker.
Roll Tide. Eli, it's so great to hear your voice back on the air again. I just want to say, y'all, you've been in my prayers. I love Chris's call from the very first game last year. We missed you, Eli, and that was Chris did a great job last year. It's so great to hear your voice back on the air. And I just want to say God bless you, and I hope you get to feeling 100%.
Well, I'm ready to get going.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, and thank you, Parker. We really appreciate it. And like you said, Chris did a magnificent job, and you know, that's what this crew is all about. Somebody has an illness or a problem, as Chris himself did a few years ago, and we all filled in to fill that gap. So that's the way things go, and I thank Chris very, very much. JB is next on the phone in Haleyville, Alabama. Hello, JB.
Roll Tide, Coach. Eli, I'm sorry.
That's all right. It sounds like we got half of Haleyville here tonight.
I hear you, man. Hey, I want to echo the sentiment of the last caller. Man, it's great to hear your voice again. I know the Alabama fans have prayed for you, and it's just a testament, you know, to you coming back in there. It's a great thing to have you back.
Well, I thank you, sir. It's my pleasure, and I appreciate all the kind words from everybody. Thank you.
But I tell you what, Eli, I want you to do next Thursday night.
All right, well, next Thursday night, you come and join us here, or tune in, and we'll talk with Coach Saban. It's going to be a lot of fun to get an idea as to how he sees his team. This will be, at that point, just a couple of days prior to the season openers, so that's going to be a lot of fun come next Thursday. And another gentleman who's going to be with us, and I'm sure looking forward to this season, is the man who will be alongside of me throughout the season. He is Tyler Watts. Tyler, former Bama quarterback, and now the new analyst on our broadcast. Tyler, how are you, sir? Good evening.
Awesome.
And we lost him. Got to work on Tyler's connection there, so we'll hopefully get him back on the air with us here. Tyler Watts. We've done a couple of games, as maybe you have read in the papers. Tyler and I worked with Roger Hoover and Christian Miller, who will be the sideline reporter, and we did a couple of the two scrimmages that the team has held so far, and everything went very, very well. And Tyler, we're just bragging on the job you did at the scrimmages. Good to have you with us this season.
Hey, baby, I'm just riding your coattails. It's easy for the color commentator when you got you in the driver's seat.
Well, I don't know about that, but thank you. We had a great time. I'll tell you, somebody said to me, we were talking before, oh, what's the team look like? What's the team look like? And I said, that's not my decision to make. You know, that's the coach's decision. But I did say that if you are recruited by Nick Saban to play at Alabama, and for that matter, if you're recruited by Lane Kiffin to go to Ole Miss, if you're recruited by anybody at that level of play, you're good. You're good. It's just a matter now of how everybody meshes together and put all the pieces together.
You know, they don't bring you on campus if they don't think you can play. That's just a fact. And me and Christian Miller were talking. We went to practice here the other day of how, you know, I am much further removed from the game than he is, but how much it has even evolved over the last couple of years, and how we as spectators, we watch, we think we know what we're looking at, but unless you're in that film room, unless you're out there on the field and you understand exactly what's expected of you, what you're supposed to be doing, you really don't have a clue. And these coaches do such a good job putting these guys in bad situations, see how they react, how they respond. what is their body language like? But they want to test you now so they know when they throw you out there on the field when lights are on and it really matters that you're going to respond and you're going to perform.
That's a good point, and not everybody does, unfortunately.
Well, and that's where they separate, the ones that get out there and the ones that continue to need to develop. And I think that's it. He doesn't just throw them away. He continues to develop because everyone comes into their own at their own time. And Christian Miller's a great example of that. He was a late bloomer. He continued to put weight on, and by his junior and senior year, he really had an opportunity to contribute, and not only contribute, but do it in a meaningful way.
It was very interesting, too, that the coach said, I believe in one of the earlier press conferences this week, said, people always ask me, who's going to be the starting quarterback? And the coach said it doesn't matter necessarily who's going to be the starting quarterback. He said teams change, including Alabama. They changed quarterbacks over the years. They have made changes. Just because you're the guy who gets the call against Middle Tennessee doesn't mean you're going to be the guy under center in the Auburn game. And, that's why that competition at all positions has to continue throughout the course of the season.
And that is important, is to find the guys who are willing to compete even when things aren't necessarily. You don't want a bunch of front runners. You want guys that are going to go out there, they're going to fight, so that you can throw them out there on the field and that they're going to perform well. And it is. This is a physical game. People are going to get hurt. Things are going to change. A lot of things out of your control are going to happen, and you have to have depth at every position so that if it's needed, you can trust them to go out there and perform.
Let's talk about the defense, because they showed us again this weekend. Again, you don't know who was playing against whom all the time, but there were a lot of sacks on the part of that defensive unit. Dallas Turner and Chris Braswell and on the list goes. There's a lot to be excited about on that defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, I had a chance to talk with Freddie Roach on Wednesday, and I asked him, I said, how many guys you got do you feel that you can depend on? And he said, we're going to try to play 6, 7, or 8. We're going to continue to develop them. But
Freddie's the defensive line coach for the
yes,
folks
sir, I'm sorry.
who don't know.
That. I've known him for years. He's probably bigger now than he was back when he played, but he does a great job with those guys. And I said, is that kind of how many you have to have in today's game? He goes, absolutely. You have to keep these guys fresh, rotate them in because of the pace of play, and you just need bodies up there that stop the run and also apply pressure on certain passing situations. And you have to have guys that you can depend on, and that's really where it starts. I really like this linebacker core. I think that they're faster than they've been in the past couple of years. You're going to fly around. Really expect a lot out of Lawson. I think he's going to have a good year. But I think really the cream of the crop is that secondary. I'm really impressed with their coverage. They don't sit back on their heels. They're attacking these routes, anticipating the throw, trying to cut them off. I expect a lot of things. I think it's going to be difficult. I think they're going to put a lot of pressure on opposing quarterbacks to throw the perfect pass every attempt.
And that secondary, guys like Terry and Arnold that the coach has been using in different roles. Earl Little II, the star player out of Fort Lauderdale. Of course, Malachi Moore is there, and Kool-Aid, and so many others. Jaleel Hurley, others getting playing time. You're right. There's a ton of talent that's available there.
And you're going to need them all once again, because these guys contribute not only in the secondary, they're going to rotate in there as well, but also in special teams. And those are the guys you want out on the field. They're fast, they're aggressive, and pound for pound could possibly be the toughest guys on the field.
Good point. If you'd like to join us, 877-202-BAMA. That's 877-202-BAMA. That's the Yellowhammer Brewing Hotline. And if you'd like to be part of the conversation, just dial it up, 877-202-BAMA, from wherever across the country you're listening in, and we'll be glad to put you on the show. Quarterbacks. I'm surprised we've gone this long without bringing it up. Jalen Milroe, Tyler Buckner, in no order in particular. Ty Simpson, Dylan Lonergan, Eli Holstein. Guys getting a good bit of playing time, and there's going to be, I wouldn't want to be Coach Nick Saban to do the picking among that lot, because there really is a ton of talent, and in different ways, too, that some of these guys bring talent to the table.
You know, it's rare that you see a quarterback race play out kind of like this one has for Alabama this year. Normally it's a two-horse race. It's one or two guys vying for that position. There's a lot of reps to really distribute between the two of them. But he truly is having to balance 3, even 4 guys at times, because we've even seen Larkin come in and get meaningful stats with the number 1. I think they think highly of him as well. So there's a lot of guys vying, and obviously they see enough in each of them and the talent that they bring to continue to give them reps and to think that they're still in this race. So whoever it ends up being, I don't have a clue. You don't have a clue. We'll find out probably that first, probably even the second week of the season.
Yeah, and you know, that's the thing we talked about. It won't all be settled necessarily in week number 1. But I'll tell you, whoever the QB is, whether they're throwing to Jermaine Burton or to Ja'Cory Brooks or to Malik Benson or to Isaiah Bond and on, Kendrick Law, whoever they're throwing to, they have some good receivers. Kobe Prentice on the other end of those passes. There's no lack of available talent to catch the football.
Yeah, a lot of guys hopefully will be able to contribute this year, and they need to. They really have to step up and be able to contribute in the passing game. I think it starts with the running, being able to run the football, obviously, but these guys are the wide receivers, probably going to get some looks they really haven't seen the last couple of years because of the fact that you don't have a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback back there who's going to be throwing it a majority of the time, or at least you're not going to take the ball out of his hands. So I think that they're going to get some good looks that are going to give them some opportunities to have success.
And then, of course, you've got the guys at the tight end spot. Robbie Oots, who caught some passes in the practice sessions that we've seen and in the scrimmages. C.J. Dupree, Amari Nyblack, who, as I thought, played well. Danny Lewis Jr. and the newcomer Miles Kitzelman, the kid from Hutchinson, Kansas Community College. It's a fairly busy and talented tight end room.
They're huge also. I mean, it's amazing how big these guys are, but how they're also can play in space, so to speak. You can flex them out, put them in pass routes, and they do a really good job of that. It'd be amazing if we had a true goal line package with 4 or 5 of these tight ends, and then you go against a heavy defense, spread them out, and throw the ball all over the place. There's a lot of talent at that position, and I'm excited to see how they're able to contribute. I think each of them not only is able to do things in the passing game, but they can still lower their head and open up some running lanes.
I don't know if you've had a chance to chat with Eric Wolford, the offensive line coach. Have you had a chance at all?
No, but when I was at practice, I was really watching his demeanor. He seemed calm and collected and was answering questions. He's not the typical offensive line coach that I always grew up with that was a yeller and a screamer. But obviously he has a lot of knowledge.
Seth McLaughlin, the center, returning name, Darian Dalcourt. He's a familiar name to the listeners. J.C. Latham, Caden Proctor, Tyler Booker. There's been a good bit of position shuffling on that offensive front.
Trying to find the best side to put out there. Who can you count on to go out there and really gel together and move guys around? And that's going to be important, because I really do think that it all starts up front, as it does with every football team. Your ability to run the football, your ability to protect on passing situations, that's really where the success of every football team starts. And the demeanor, the attitude that they carry spills over into the other positions as well. The meaner they are, the more aggressive they are, it's contagious with everyone else.
We've got Hayden on the phone from Gordon, Alabama, with a question for us. Hayden, welcome in, sir.
Hello there.
Yes, sir. What's up?
I was just wondering who y'all think would be the best fit at quarterback for Alabama's offense.
The best fit? Well,
yes,
again, how do you, I guess the bottom line is the guy who's going to fit best is the guy that the coach likes. And that's how it's going to be. Is there any way for us to differentiate yet, Tyler?
I don't think so, because we have seen over the first two scrimmages, every one of them made some really positive plays, explosive plays. We know what they're able to do with their arms. They're also able to pull it down and make explosive plays with their legs. But the things that are going to separate who wins this job is not what we see as fans. It's what we don't see that takes place in the film room. Who's getting us in the right checks, who's making the right decision in the passing game. Even if it's an incomplete pass, did you go to the right place with the ball? That's what's going to differentiate. And ultimately, who's going to take care of the football? Who's going to put their football team in the best position to be successful and not cost them a possession of downs?
How tough was it for you to transition from high school or from junior college into your collegiate days at Alabama? Was it very difficult? Were they pushing you really hard? Did they let you work at your pace? How did that go?
Everyone kind of comes along in their own time. But the most meaningful thing with every one of these guys that's coming out of high school, and it's like this across any profession that you choose, there's a learning curve. And the pace, speed of the game obviously is really fast, and it takes a couple weeks to adjust to, but you do. But like anything else, reps is what matters. That's what makes you better. Meaningful, productive reps is what separates those who are average and those that really become good. The more you get, the more comfortable you're going to feel, the more quicker you're going to react, the better you're going to play.
Well, listen, we're all going to be playing a week from Saturday, and we're looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to having you alongside, and you can explain as a quarterback can to the listeners exactly what's going on. So thank you so much for your time tonight, Tyler, and I look forward to spending the season and many more with you.
Hey, let's hope we have a great season. I look forward to it as well, Eli. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. Thanks. Tyler Watts joining us from his home, and we thank him for being with us. The Nick Saban Show, presented by Alfa Insurance. For auto, home, and life insurance, call Alfa. Throughout the course of our game week coverage, we'll be talking with James Spann, of course, the noted weather forecaster from ABC 3340. James Spann's game day weather forecast will be presented each week by Barkley GMC here in Tuscaloosa. And folks, if you've missed any portion of tonight's show, you can always catch it on demand on our Alabama Insider podcast. You can download and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Of course, when Coach Nick Saban joins us, he'll be with us again starting next week. At this time of the show, he'll be offering us his final word, and that's going to be that's part of what we've gotten with the coach each year that he's been around, and it's brought to you again by our friends at Mercedes-Benz. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing. That's coming up with the coach next week. Right now, we have to break away for these messages. Don't go away. We've got some final thoughts of our own to pass along right after this on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Mario fue pintor más de 30 años. Cuando me dijo que se le estaban olvidando las cosas, fue difícil. Un día me dijeron que pintara el marco del lado por dentro y pinté el lado de afuera.
Yo le di a la gente que le diga a su familia lo que está pasando con él.
Si algo se nota diferente, podría ser Alzheimer. Es momento de hablarlo. Visita alz.org/nuestras historias para saber más. Un mensaje de The Alzheimer's Association y The Ad Council.
Wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind, like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. To learn your risk, take the 1-minute test today at doIHavePrediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
When might you be buzzed? When you suddenly love everything.
You guys! I love this song!
I love these nachos.
I love our kickball league! Ugh! I love this guy!
What's your name?
You know what I love?
A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzzed warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I love your car. Is this real leather?
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably do that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
And we're back with the action. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. With an irresistible taste and zero sugar, Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any sports fan. So make sure you... Wait, Jim, I didn't mean try it right now. We're still on the air.
Best Coke ever? Take a taste, Jen.
Really?
No, not right now, Jen. We got a game to call.
Discover something amazing at Cook Museum of Natural Science. Explore a cave, crawl inside a beaver lodge, marvel at live animals including saltwater fish, turtles, snakes, jellyfish, alligators, and more. Experience nature close up through interactive exhibits and hands-on activities. Discover why life is amazing at Cook Museum of Natural Science in downtown Decatur, Alabama. For more information, visit cookmuseum.org.
Hey, Coach, and the Nick Saban Show, presented by Alfa Insurance. Protect your car, home, life, and business with Alfa. Get a quote or find a local agent online at alfainsurance.com. Now, what's on tap for the Alabama Crimson Tide? It's presented by Yellowhammer Brewing Company, brewed locally in Alabama and served to fans all across the Southeast. The Tide, of course, returns to action a week from this Saturday, September the 2nd. It is a 6:30 Central Time kickoff from Bryant-Denny Stadium. You can hear it all right here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. And don't forget, you can also hear the game and watch us in the booth on the Royal Furniture Booth Cam. And folks, don't forget the All-State Crossbar Classic. It's coming up, Texas and Alabama, on September the 9th. That'll be a 6 o'clock kickoff, 6 o'clock on ESPN and here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. So it's that time. You know, you wait, you count it down, Next thing you know, it's on top of us. So it's going to be a good season, I have a feeling. What I've seen on the scrimmage field and what we've seen in practice, there's talent there, and that's what we all look to be able to talk about here at this stage of the season. A big thank you to Rashinda Reed. She was the volleyball head coach here at the university. She and Alyiah Wells, the middle blocker for the team, joined us early in the show. Then Christy Curry, the women's basketball head coach, was here. And Tyler Watts, former Bama quarterback, and a man who's going to be joining us on the broadcasts as our analyst. He was here as well. We thank him. Tony O'Neill back in the studio handling things there as he fills in for Jerry Kelly, and Jerry will be back with us in time for next week's show. Our engineer producer here at Baumhower's Victory Grille has been Tom Stipe. I'm Eli Gold, and thank you again for welcoming us all into your living room as we get set to plan ahead for the 2023 football season. We'll talk to you next week. The coach will be here, remember, starting next Thursday night. So make it a point to join us until we talk next. For all of us here at Baumhower's Victory Grille, thank you so much for your time. Good night and roll.